peasant is any man or woman who worked on a knight or lord's land and in return got a place to live for them and their family. Very rarely did peasants have other jobs than farming. Few of them were blacksmiths, millers, or even worked in taverns. Even though peasants were responsible for most of the work, they were also responsible for paying a lot of the taxes. The homes that peasants typically lived on were made out of mud, stones, straw, and occasionally some wood. These cottages were very small, usually having about 2 rooms. The floors were all made out of dirt and it contained very little furniture. In the winter, when the weather was harsh, peasants had an unusual way of keeping warm. They kept the livestock inside of the tiny cottages because they gave off some heat. Also, they could not risk their animals freezing to death and not having any food. The clothes worn by peasants were often scratchy and rough. They were made out of wool or linen. These clothes were made by the women with help from the children. Each peasant usually had one set of clothes and shoes. The shoes were often made out of wood or leather. For the most part, peasants ate what they grew. They relied on their crops such as vegetables and wheat for food. Religion was a big part of medieval times. Since children who lived through childhood and childbirth were not as common as they are now, they were baptized and promised to be Christian as soon as they were born. Children were always considered a blessing. Marriages were a lot simpler than they are today. There was usually the priest, the couple, and a few witnesses. Also, the majority of the marriages were arranged. Though peasants and slaves had many similarities, they were very different. They had more rights, different responsibilities, and did not have to work 100% of the time. This is the life of an average medieval person.